When you can't make it to City Hall or the school board meetings, local journalists from Duluth News Tribune will be there to report the facts and get your questions answered. Local news works for you. Stay up to date at DuluthNewsTribune.com.
Hello, Northlanders. It's Friday, June 28th. I'm Wyatt Buckner with the Duluth News Tribune Minute, presented by Minnesota Power Employees Credit Union.
The average MPECU member saves over $785 a year in better rates and lower fees. And with MPECU, every ATM is your ATM. With their free checking program, you get ATM fee reimbursements at any ATM anywhere in the U.S. Check out Minnesota Power Employees Credit Union services online at mpecu.com or visit their offices in downtown Duluth, Arrowhead Road, or Miller Trunk Highway.
It's Friday and the weekend is upon us. If you're looking for some fun things to do, Duluth News Tribune Arts and Entertainment reporter Jay Gabler has some options in this week's Best Bets.
It's another Duluth weekend, and it's going to be as busy as ever, even busier, some might say. This weekend we have Chum's Super Rhubarb Festival, as well as the Park Point Art Fair, both of those mentioned in my guide to Duluth's summer weekends, so be sure to check that guide out for more about what's happening this weekend and throughout the summer here in Duluth. A few more things worth mentioning that are happening this weekend. Tonight at Bent Paddle Brewing, it's a release party. This is going to be especially poignant. This is the release of the self-titled album by Afro Geode and the Gemstones. That is the band led by the late Deanna Johnson. When she died unexpectedly last year, she had just completed recording an ambitious new album with her band, the Gemstones. That album is now being released. It is a powerful work, an essential album, dare I say, for local listeners. And I'll be writing more about that album with input from those who knew and worked with Deanna in my column next week, Front Row Seat. But heads up, this weekend, tonight in fact, Friday, June 28th, there's a release event at Bent Paddle Brewing featuring Johnson's band, the Gemstones, as well as music from Baharat and Kaylee Matuzak. Also this weekend, there's something unusual in a good way happening at The Lab. That is the name of the black box performance space within the North Shore Theater Complex. So you say the North Shore Theater, you know there's the auditorium where you see Duluth Playhouse main stage and now family theater productions, youth productions. But now the North Shore also has this little, they call it a black box space. It's literally a black box. It's very flexible. You can do anything in there. It's where the Duluth Playhouse now stages their Underground series, and that's been a huge success in the Lab this year, this past season of theater. They've sold out many performances, including the entire run of their production of Stephen King's Misery. Now, this weekend, for the first time, that space, the Lab at the North Shore Theater, is hosting a production that's not a Duluth Playhouse show. It's a new experimental dance solo by a Two Harbors artist named Kayla Schildke. It's called Is This Magic? And incorporates both live dance and video projections. It'll be presented 4 and 7 p.m. tomorrow, Saturday, at the Lab within the North Shore Theater Complex in Duluth. Also worth mentioning, Midsommar. Well, yes, it is past. The days are getting shorter now, sorry. But it's not too late to celebrate Midsommar in classic Scandinavian fashion with the Swedish Cultural Society of Duluth. The organization's Midsommar Festival takes place this Sunday, June 30th, at Spirit of God Lutheran Church in Duluth. And they are playing all the hits, folks. They're making flower crowns, they're raising the maypole, they're noshing on the likes of pickled herring and lingonberry jam. That is all happening Sunday at Spirit of God Lutheran Church in Duluth. For more information on these and other best bets, check out DuluthNewsTribune.com. I'm Jay Gabler.
Now here's today's headlines. It took days for local authorities to confirm rumors and suspicions that a dam washout had contributed to recent flooding along the Cloquet River in Lake County. But on Sunday, 5 days after a storm system dropped 5 to 7.5 inches of rain on the river's headwaters in just 6 hours, local speculation was finally acknowledged as fact, where remote Sullivan Lake, which is really a 45-acre reservoir on Sullivan Creek, had once shimmered, a greatly diminished waterway now trickles through a wide swath of muck. Matt Pullman, Lake County's emergency management director, said there is no lake left. An 8-foot-tall timber, rock, and earthen dam built in the early 1900s to assist with logging activities had been swept away. causing the lake to quickly drain into the Cloquet River a short distance downstream at a time when more water was the last thing anyone wanted to see dumped into an already brimming system. Brimson area residents likely bore the brunt of the impact, where Indian Lake rose at an alarmingly rapid rate, flooding several properties and providing locals with little opportunity to respond. There are no known witnesses to the dam's demise, but Pullman suspects it collapsed during the surge in stormwater runoff, likely the night of Tuesday, June 18th, or early Wednesday, June 19th. While the resulting rapid influx of additional water accelerated flooding most dramatically around Brimson, the impact further downstream was likely relatively modest, said Josh Brinkman, St. Louis County's emergency management coordinator. He described the effects of the collapsed dam as negligible at best for most of the river corridor. By the time the water reached Island Lake, a reservoir of that large size was better able to slow and absorb the spike before it moved downstream, according to Brinkman. Pullman said some Island Lake residents likely suffered the effects of the Sullivan Dam breach as well. Sullivan Lake is encircled by the Superior National Forest, and the dam was the property of the U.S. Forest Service. Located about 25 miles north of Two Harbors, Sullivan Lake was home to a small campground and drew visitors with its rustic Northland accommodations, including basic amenities such as drinking water and vault toilets. It provided access to a low-pressure recreational reservoir with a maximum depth of about 8 feet. Organizers of the annual Rhubarb Festival in Duluth say they desperately need at least another 100 volunteers to make this year's event successful. The festival, scheduled Saturday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. on the Holy Rosary campus of Stella Maris Academy at 2802 East 4th Street, is the organization's largest fundraiser. Volunteers are needed in the kitchen, merchandise sales, parking assistance, after-festival cleanup, and other duties. The Rhubarb Festival annually attracts thousands of people with music, raffles, games, and myriad foods and drinks made with rhubarb, from cakes and pies to bratwurst and rhubarb lemonade. Parking near the event is limited, so free shuttle buses will run from the University of Minnesota Duluth's Maroon Lot D off College Street from 10:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. CHUM's programs serve more than 8,000 low-income, homeless, hungry, isolated, and otherwise marginalized community members in Duluth annually. The nonprofit was founded in 1973 when 10 churches in the Central Hillside neighborhood pooled their resources to meet the needs of the neighborhood's many low-income residents. For more information or to volunteer, go to chumduluth.org/Rhubarb Festival. Now here's a look at your forecast, brought to the News Tribune's Northlandia podcast.
Happy Friday, here's the forecast for the Duluth area. Showers and rumbles of thunder this morning will be clearing out, leaving us some breaks in the clouds and the rain for much of the daytime. However, some scattered showers and thunder showers will again be possible later on into tonight. A few gustier winds and perhaps some small hail may be possible, but otherwise storms should generally behave. Highs this afternoon look to reach the upper 60s to lower 70s. A few showers linger through early Saturday with breezier and cooler conditions as well, before more sunshine and warmer temperatures return on Sunday. I'm Storm Tracker and meteorologist Robert Daly.
Thank you to the Northlandia podcast for their support. The bi-weekly podcast explores curious and unique stories here in the Northland. The latest episode looks at scuba diving in Lake Orbegon. You can find that episode and others at DuluthNewsTribune.com or wherever you also get this podcast. Reporting for today's episode was done by Peter Passy, John Myers, and Jay Gabler. Thank you for listening to Duluth News Tribune Minute. Have a great day, and we'll see you back here on Tuesday.